Good evening, fellow FanDuelers, and here is the preview, Grade A Fantasy's preview for the main slate on this coming Sunday. So I already have the video. You should see it in the playlist. Uh, when you check on the following video list on the side of this video, I did the Saturday slate about 2 days ago, and I wanted to start with that first because, like I said, that's pretty much a straight up, regular season slate. Like everybody's going to be playing full throttle. I don't think you have to worry about any playing time or anything like that. With this video, I'm going about it a bit different. Uh, Obviously, with all the news and everything, with the playoff positioning, with playoff positioning, with obviously the Bills and Bengals stoppage and breaking news, literally breaking news. Well, not breaking news, but I think the news while I was prepping everything to get ready for this video, I think everybody should have known or should know that, and shouldn't be surprised that the NFL officially now canceled that game. So that game is just going to go pretty much as a no contest. I don't think there's any details on. I don't think there's any details on what they're trying to do. They're just going to let the game go and just pretty much be a no contest, pretty much. And that's pretty much it. I don't know what it literally broke like maybe 15, 20 minutes ago that it became literally official. So that game will not be played. It will be pretty much in the history books as a D. I mean, it played, but it'll be a DNF. Did not finish. Uh, in other more important news, um, the Bills player that got hurt, seriously hurt in that game, Hamlin is showing substantial improvement. Showing use of his extremities. He woke up, opened his eyes, started talking. So, very happy for him and the Hamlin family. And with that good news, let's transition into the Sunday slate. So, if you saw in the last video, I'm starting to use the bullet points and everything like that. So, I will continue to do that, especially with this video, because this video is going to be a little bit longer. And most importantly, it's definitely going to be breaking up in a very weird way. So first off, instead of the typical slate start, with this particular thing in fantasy with playoff scenario, you got to worry about teams that are actually going to go out there and play besides the injuries. And then of course, teams that are planning on staying still and, just, relaxing and just getting ready for the playoffs with no need or no sense of like needing to play or anything like that. So we shall start this video with the playoff picture. As of right now, like I said, things can happen. The most important news was, people probably wondering like, hey, what's going to happen to that Bills game? Is that going to affect the play? They're not playing that game. Official news has broken. That game will not be played. It's canceled. It's done. We're moving on to week 18. Okay, so let's start off in the AFC with the playoff scenarios. Teams, we'll start with teams, and then I'll kind of, start with teams that I won't break it down the whole way like I used to, but for fantasy purposes, we need to focus on the people that are going to play. Uh, for any statisticians out there, people with fantasy formulas and all these generators and everything, like your fantasy those kind of tools would be still handy, but if you hear somehow the guy's not going to play, then throw the name out the throw the name out the formula, and it doesn't really make any sense. You might as well either X out certain teams, X out certain players, or in some cases maybe X out certain games out your formula, and then generate lineups for all the teams that have the higher upside, and most importantly, who are going to have the more intense games for people who are playing for something, who are just going to flat out play. So we'll start with the AFC playoff picture, and let's go. So the Bengals, obviously, the Bengals and the Bills will have that, game short or whatever. Once again, this is Sunday slate. I already went over the Saturday teams. If you want to check out the Saturday teams again, please, just, look. It should be in the playlist next to this video, or if not, just click on Grade A Fantasy, and that'll be the last. That will be the last video that I did a couple days ago. So we'll start with the Bengals. Obviously, the Bengals, like the Bills, are going to be a game short, but they still got to go out there and do what they got to do. So, Bengals will clinch the AFC North as long as they beat the Ravens. Point blank simple. They beat the Ravens, and they at least got the division. So they're fighting for the division. They can still get the number one seed if they can beat the Ravens. If they can beat the Ravens, Bills probably have to lose their remaining game, and also the Chiefs will have to lose because remember the Bengals have the tiebreaker because the Bengals do have that tiebreaker. Let's see here. We will go to the Bills. Right next to them, once again, they're a game short, so the Bills have to go and beat the Patriots, and they would need the Bengals and the Chiefs to lose. I think. To wait, a win over the Pit and Chiefs lose to the Raiders. Yeah, so they'll clinch the number one seed. Yeah, they have to win their game, and then both the Bengals and Chiefs have to lose their games. And as for the Chiefs, it's pretty much simple. Like with that game being shorted, they pretty much control their destiny. They clinched the number one seed with a win over the Raiders, pretty much with the win over the Raiders because with the Bills losing that game, it's records won't be even. But like I said, there's still talks of how to work that out and make it fair and all that stuff because Bills do own the tiebreaker, and then the Chiefs and then the Bengals now that they're fighting for the number one seed, if they somehow tie, they also own the tiebreaker on the Chiefs. So the Chiefs kind of, in a way, lucked out. People forget about that. I understand everybody's talking about the Bills, Bills, Bills. A lot of people want the Bills to win the Super Bowl too, a likable team. But the Bengals also have these tiebreakers here. So that was a pretty big game that got, wiped off the schedule or whatever. But of course, it got wiped off for good reason. And once again, Jamal Hamlin, we're all happy that you're doing better. Let's go down a little bit for teams who are fighting for literally their playoff lives. Dolphins are in if they beat the Jets and the Patriots lose to the Bills. So Dolphins got to win. They got to do their job, and they need just a little bit of help. Patriots clinch a wild card berth with a win over the Bills or a Dolphins loss to the Jets, a Steelers loss to the Browns, and a Titans loss to the Jaguars. So they need help all over the place from the Saturday games even into the Sunday game. Patriots need a lot. So that Saturday night game, this is Belichick. I think regardless if the Titans beat the Jaguars, he's still going to go out there and play. It's Bill Belichick. So I think that's a team you definitely have to worry about people sitting. Anybody nicked up with injuries? Maybe, but I think Belichick is still going to go all out, especially against a division rival. Ravens can clinch the AFC North, and that's all they can do. If they win over the Bengals, they have to, because they're playing the Bengals. And lost to the Bengals, and then win over the Bengals and wait, I'm reading this all wrong. These playoff scenarios are ridiculous. Ravens clinch AFC North with a Bengals loss to the Bills and a win over the Bengals. So obviously, the Bengals lost to the Bills. That's not going to happen. So Ravens just got to go straight up and do what they got to do. Steelers wild card berth with a win over the Browns, a Patriots loss, and a Dolphins loss to the Jets. So Steelers need a lot of help, but they got to play their game and do what they got to do. Let's skip to the NFC. This might be the easiest clinching of a number one seed possibly ever because yes, Goodell did a great job in making sure because it's good that division rivals always play each other, especially when there's something on the line with like a wild card spot or a playoffs, any type of playoff spot. But in this case, this is where it almost doesn't matter. The Giants are literally fit right into the middle. They can't move up or down, win or lose. So the Eagles look like they're going to clinch the number one seed. Plus, the reports are coming out more and more. Rumors are now coming out to be almost confirmed reports that say players like Saquon Barkley, even some of the defensive guys, they say they want to play, but if Dable limits them or just tells them no, they're just going to sit. So for DFS, Eagles look optimal. You could probably get a nice amount of points. They probably won't end up playing the whole game, but Jalen Hurts is getting healthy. So that's still bigger for A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert. And if they're sitting their starters, uh, man, Eagles might look like a great pay up option actually for this week. I know I always talk about, I try to give you guys 3,900 and under, but if the Giants, it's almost confirmed like a 60% now, looking like more like 75%. Because Saquon, one of the main key players in DFS, Saquon Barkley says he wants to play, but Dabo is already hinting at either just sitting him, not even reduced role, sitting him. So it's going to be more like a lot of Giant stars are going to be having the shoulder pads on. You know how they have their hands on the chest pads. They're just going to be hanging out, taking it easy. So that most likely means no Daniel Jones, Saquon. Giants might be just a total fade. So all the Eagles got to do beat the Giants. First, they got to beat the Giants. If somehow something happens and the Giants upset the Eagles, the Cowboys would need the Cowboys to lose to the Commanders and the 49ers to lose to the Cardinals. But right now, Eagles pretty much control their destiny because they're pretty much going to be playing a preseason squad. 49ers can clinch a number one seed. They first got to do their thing. They got to beat the Cardinals, but then they need the Eagles to lose to get the number one seed. Other than that, 49ers are in. Uh, but if anything were to happen, I mean, those guys are pretty much good to go. They're resting McCaffrey. McCaffrey has a lot of wear and tear, but they're taking care of McCaffrey. They're literally, he's now, if, I paid attention to McCaffrey because I picked him last week in my cash games and, public leagues. And he went from limited practice. This week, he's not even practicing. So they literally letting him rest. He's resting during the week so he can get himself ready for game day. So he literally had like 4 to 5 days off. Last reports, besides logging in limited practice, today's practice, jogging on the sideline. That's about it. So that pretty much means either barely wore pads or wore some shorts with a t-shirt and did a lot of stretching. That's all he did. Cowboys, they're all in because they're going against a division rival. I mean, Cowboys and Redskins, nobody's going to be sitting there. So Cowboys need a win. They clinch the East with a win over the Redskins, and the Eagles have to lose to the Giants. They can clinch the number one seed got to beat the Commanders, and they need all of the Eagles and the 49ers to lose for that to happen. So Cowboys are playing for something. Cowboys playing for a lot. Need a little help, but they're playing for a lot. Lions and Packers. I mean, before I get to that, I might as well just skip to this one team because that's going to be the main match. So I'm glad they made that the 8 o'clock game. I can't wait for that. But the Seahawks can clinch a wild card berth with a win over the Rams, and they need the Packers to lose to the Lions for the Seahawks to get it. So obviously, with the Packers playing the night game against the Lions, Seahawks are full go. That's another team that you don't have to worry about. And then, of course, probably the best DFS game of the day is the Lions at the Packers. Win or go home. Win or go home. But the only thing is, it's easy for the Packers because they're literally the team that controls their own destiny. With the Lions, on the other hand, they still need to beat the Packers, but guess what? The Seahawks still have to lose to the Rams. So, but that coach is gonna have his team ready. I still think that's still gonna be a great game. It's gonna suck that they can't make the playoffs, but for the Lions to knock out the Packers in Lambeau, why not? I don't think you have to worry about anything, even if the Seahawks do win that game. So with that quick and a bit of a jumbled playoff scenario review or current up-to-date preview of what the playoff scenario is for Week 18, we can get that out the way and let's talk about the slate. Just bring this up real quick. And let's make sure I get this off the Saturday slate because I already talked about Saturday. Here comes Sunday. Here we go. Sunday slate. So, once again, it's a reminder. It is a full-fledged slate besides the 2 games on Saturday. No Thursday night games, no Monday night game. Full-fledged slate. Biggest slate of the season. It's 14 games, and it goes, once again, it's going all day on FanDuel. I don't think DraftKings has it like this, but all 14 games are on on the slate. Just giving you a heads up. So whatever you do during the day, if you have a piece of that Detroit Green Bay game, hopefully that shit brings you home. Okay, so let's take a look at the slate. Monster 14 games. Whew, this is a long list. This is a long, long list. Oh, so the top two players are McCaffrey and Eckler. So we have no doubt we're going to start at running back. So running back, Christian McCaffrey, like I said, he'll be a full go. Don't worry about the Q tag. It's damn near mandatory to put a Q tag if they're not practicing, but he's not practicing for a reason because the team is resting him. Don't worry about the Q tag. If you're gonna pay 10 for him, go on ahead and do it. I paid what 9.6, 9.5 for him last week. No problem. He's going against another bad rush defense, so I don't think you have anything to worry about Christian McCaffrey at all. Next, we have Austin Eckler. Against Denver. Full-fledged, ready to go. I like Denver susceptible to the run. So Austin Eckler at 94. If you want to get away from McCaffrey and save $600, that's definitely a nice way to go. You can pretty much X out. So like I said, you can pretty much X out Saquon Barkley. Like I said, Brian Daboll's already Brian Daboll's pretty much already hinted. I'm sorry, I'm just reading some stuff on Eckler right now. But Brian Daboll's pretty much, like I said, defensive starters, him, Daniel Jones, just skip over him. Now, with a couple teams probably still resting, it's still not confirmed what's going on with Tampa Bay also being at Atlanta. Sometimes a 14-game slate can, when you rest, it kind of feels like it shrinks to 13 because even though you got games to worry about, that's like two teams pretty much taking themselves off the board in DFS. So you're not worrying about the two teams. So kind of gets back to like normal ownership, like how a 13-game slate will go. So just be prepared for that. That's why I wanted to wait as long as possible. Normally the Sunday slate, I'm on it by Monday, no later than Tuesday. But with the news and you have to get the confirmation about the Bills, the Bills and Bengals game, stuff like that. What else do I like here? Tony Pollard 8,000 against Washington. I definitely love Dalvin Cook. Again at Chicago, even though Minnesota is pretty much kind of locked into where they're at. Minnesota can't really move anywhere, so that's another thing you're going to have to really monitor. But Dalvin Cook against that rush defense, when I saw that on the schedule, he was definitely one of my favorite plays. I kind of like going down to a 7,700 Kenneth Walker. If he's healthy, Seattle definitely has something to fight for. At home, I love Seattle. I will definitely stick with Seattle. And also, just to tease it, like I said, I've been right about them and the Lions a couple times. Not the best defense, but when they're at home, they are worth a look, guys. I like Seattle against the Rams at home. So Kenneth Walker, definitely a nice spot, 7,700. Zeke Elliott, 100 cheaper at 76. Let's scroll down a little bit here. Look here, man. I understand he's a little dinged up, probably not 100%, but he will be roaring, ready to go. I will take either Packers running back with no issue. Aaron Jones at 7,400. I think his partner is not too far. There he goes. A.J. Dillon at 6,900. So slight $500 discount. To go in between, you got the two Lions running backs, 7,100 and 7,000. The Packers are susceptible to the run. Yes, the Packers are pretty much running hot. They're at home, but Detroit can beat them through the air and the ground. So if you're looking, either one of those guys should be big plays. But we're talking about fantasy here, so probably the bigger play is Jamal Williams. He gets the goal line touches, even though DeAndre Swift is now starting to be more involved in the passing game. Alvin Kamara, it's been a struggle for him, but if you're in a 20 max, I'm not touching him if you're doing 3 entries or a single entry. But if you're doing a 20 max like I do every week, or if you're mass multi-entering or at least putting like 50 or whatever line, you got to get to Alvin Kamara. I don't like the way they're using him. I keep telling you guys he should be getting more receptions. Last week he only got 1. plus on one target. Taysom Hill, maybe a bit of a problem, but the man is still getting 16 carries. Now, here's a good little bit of digging here. Along with Kamara, the New Orleans Saints are trying to finish this. They pretty much put it out there that they want to finish this season, I think, what is it, on a 4 or 5 game winning streak. They're loving what their future looks like. They love their young players. So they're looking to finish on a high note. So look for Olave, look for Taysom Hill, look for that defense. They had a pretty nice draft class. So look for those kids to really play a big part. I'll be taking a look at this Saints game. Of course, like I said, with that nice matchup, they're at home against Carolina. Kamara does look good against them. I think they're bottom ranked 10 defensive. I'm pretty sure about that. If I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, it was early in the season. A lot of things have changed. When he played them earlier at Carolina, he ran 15 times for 61 yards and he had 7 targets when he caught 2 for 12. So, maybe things changed a little bit, but like I said, could be the Saints are in full go. They're one of those teams not playing for a playoff spot, but looking to end the season on a strong note. So don't be afraid of Olave. Hey, Andy Dalton stacks, whatever you want. They're going for it, and to end the season on a 4 game winning streak, and their last games at home. Definitely something to look forward to from them. FanDuel is not stupid because since Minnesota doesn't have much to play for, they priced him up, and they priced him up properly. He's not a free square anymore. I keep telling you about the Madison free square from a couple years ago. It's not happening. He's 7,000. That's not a bargain. You fit him in. That's a serious dent to your cap. Not the strongest dent to your cap, but he's typically not a free square. But he should see something against Chicago. As we keep scrolling down, we gonna keep scrolling. With Jonathan Taylor out, what's a nice play? 2 teams that are not playing for anything, and seeing what they got for the future. I really like Zach Moss at 6,800. Zach Moss home against Houston. If you've been a fantasy player this year, you should at least have a running back going against Houston. GPPs or cash games, but that's damn near mandatory on cash games. Philly, definitely, like I said, they're playing for something. We have Miles Sanders at 6,700. He has been dealing with injuries, knee, ankle, but mostly to his knee. Right now he's been playing through it, but if anything slows down, I might just stay away from Philly anyway because one, Jalen Hurts is there, and they literally got like 3 running backs they can give it to. Miles Sanders sounds like he's going to be active, but if the knee's giving him an issue, they'll just split up the work between him, Boston Scott, and Kenneth Gainwell. Like I said, they're playing against the Giants, pretty much the Giants B team, and maybe only a few stars on the defensive end, but Miles Sanders might be a fade because one, Hurts is going to be there. And if they do start blowing out the Giants, it's most likely because Hurts found somebody downfield. Hurts ran for 2 TDs, and then boom, the game is over. And then Miles Sanders is the top running back. He's not going to play. So I might stay away from the whole mess. I wouldn't be surprised if Gardner Minshew gets in there with Gainwell and Scott. And then now you're up to the point where you got to pick, who's it going to be, Scott or Gainwell? That's one of those DFS GPP options where if you get one of those guys getting 2 garbage touchdowns at a cheap price, then hey, go along for it. But I think for me personally, I might be fading Miles Sanders. Going in with the knee, playing against New York B team, they could get up early, and then by the 3rd quarter, he's going to be gone. And who says by the 3rd quarter he gets much work anyway? Nice price, but I think it's a stay away. Chicago doesn't have a damn thing to play for, so why not go against a very suspect run defense? They'll be at home, ready to go. Justin Fields, ruled out. So, David Montgomery, load him up. 6,700. He's the main option. He is the option. Anything else that I like to do? I mean, you got to watch out to see what Tampa Bay is doing. Tampa Bay can't really do anything. They can't move anywhere. They got the division. I don't think Leonard Fournette plays, but it's a nice matchup. But maybe it's a good play for Rashad White, who's 6,500, 100 cheaper than Fournette. Tyler Algier, yes, it's a top ranked Tampa Bay run defense. The defense is playing better now, but Tyler Algier has separated himself from Cordell Patterson and whoever else has been joining him in the backfield. He is the man there. He is still worth a look at 65. Deontay Foreman, 65 at New Orleans. Where's his partner at? I'm going to scroll down because I know I'm going to find him soon. There he goes. Chuba Hubbard has also been getting carries at 6,100. And there's another guy who's also been getting carries. I'm trying to find him right now. I should have just separated it by game because like the last 3 to 4 weeks, if you haven't been paying attention, it has been happening. And Carolina, it's not a 300 monster, but it's three people that do who are definitely get involved. And there he is, 4,900, Raheem Blackshear. Raheem has been taking some plays to the house lately, and he's been getting some opportunities. It's not every week, but he's a threat to take one. And it seems like it happens every odd week. It started since December 11th. So Seattle, he got 4 carries, 32 yards, and a touchdown. Every now and then, he gives a running back a breather. He's getting 2 to 3 targets a game. But against Detroit, only ran 3 times, but still got a touchdown. And there's a couple other games he's done that as well. He did it against Cincinnati a little while back. But lately, he's been getting a few more looks and a few more snaps and plays. So, I mean, he's not the most important person that I would want to look at, but just a mental note. He's been acting like a vulture the past 2, 3 weeks. Let me click off here to keep going down. Let me put it back to all. And who else do I like? Who else do I like here? Let's go down with this running backs. Let's keep this going. Like I said, he's still getting looks. Still. So Cordell Patterson, 6,300. Devin Singletary at 6,300. With no Saquon, I mean, they're not the strongest run defense, but do you look at Matt Breida at 6,300? You could. It's a DFS option. He's still not a free square, but it's cheap enough. He's going to get a lot of looks. Saquon's not playing, y'all. I'm just letting you know that right now. Saquon is not playing. Other than that, Khalil Herbert at 58. And what else could we be looking at? Jets, Michael Carter, 5,800. We could be looking at. He's probably going to get another high workload. Let's go back up a little bit. I forgot because what's his name? Antonio Gibson's on IR. Brian Robinson, he's at 6,400. Tough. It's a tough defense that he has to go against, but Brian Robinson does catch the ball as well. They just don't throw it to him a lot, but he has the pass catching ability. But they do give him a high workload. He is currently questionable, though. He he is currently questionable. He has not practiced yet this week. If he doesn't practice, if Brian Robinson does not practice, and Gibson is already on IR, then the next person up, not even, I think you're either looking at, yeah, I don't think they give it to one guy. You're going to have to, if Brian Robinson is out, then you're going to be looking at either a combination of Jonathan Williams and Alex Armour. And both guys are 5,000 and 4,500 respectively. Got to give you the options. Like I said, it's playoff time. Whether they're playing or not, if they can't go, why risk them and keep them healthy for the next year? Just letting you know what's going on out there. Definitely some lottery tickets, but with 14 games, you should be able to find what you need. We'll revert to quarterback. Finishing off the season strong. Like I said, Jalen Hurts has been improving. He's 9,000 flat. Like I said, he's probably going to play against the B team against the Giants. Josh Allen, questionable with an ankle, home against New England. I got a feeling New England's going to do their best to come at him. Solid defense, but I think they're gonna feel highly uplifted the fact that excuse me, they're gonna feel highly uplifted that Damar Hamlin is doing better. Thinking about them, first thing he asked about when he opened his eyes is did he win the game? This seems like one of those games that no matter what, they're gonna have so much energy and be uplifted just to be motivated just to win for him. So Josh Allen looks like a very excellent play. If they get ahead of New England by a decent amount, yes, they will, because there are times they will sit Josh Allen by the fourth quarter, or at least the mid fourth quarter. Might suck, but it's a scenario that they have done. Joe Burrow home against Cincinnati. He is a solid pick. Do you know why? I got a feeling he might be a low. That Cincinnati stack might be low owned. A bit pricey, but Baltimore is a very suspect secondary. They're one of those teams that they're good stopping the run, but it's a complete opposite stopping the pass. And Joe Burrow has done me justice this year. I will go back to Joe Burrow if he's low owned. His ownership might go low. Now, the ownership might go low if certain guys stay active. Jalen Hurts is there. He'll take some ownership. Josh Allen obviously will be. He'll take some ownership. Lamar, I don't think he's going to play. Justin Fields already out. I don't think Lamar plays. I think Baltimore's already set in the playoffs. They're ready to go. 7,800 Lamar Jackson, but I don't think he plays. I really don't think he plays. But 8,200 Joe Burrow, with all the other guys going around, he still might have decent ones. I don't think he's going to be low because I just remembered Tua's going to be out as well. No Daniel Jones. Most likely, no. There could be a possibility no Tom Brady. But I would definitely eat whatever ownership is with it, and then just try to stack it differently with a Joe Burrow. Uh, we go down to Dak Prescott 7,500. Also at 7,500 is Justin Herbert. They got a lot to play for, but they need a whole lot of help. Mike White, he looks good at Miami. That's going to be a good game. Just don't mind playing spoilers, and that's going to be a good weather game too. Uh, he should make a comeback, and I think he's damn sure looking to make a end season impression to have his name being mentioned. I'm like, hey, this is our starting guy. Let's give it to Zach Wilson. Geno Smith, he's in a good spot, I think, as well. Has his wide receivers back. Home once again, Seattle. That's the key thing. Home against the Rams. Like I said, we'll see what's going on with Brady. Like the Vikings, they can't really move nowhere. Oh man, Jared and Aaron. That's gonna be a great game. 72 and 7,100 respectfully. And because of people sitting and also injuries, and he's, it always happens. Like I said, they didn't win, but fantasy purpose wise, the team looked better and he's scrambling. Russell Wilson looks like a solid DFS option against what I think personally, because of what they did in the off season with Kareem Jackson, with Khalil Mack. I really thought that, and Bosa, I really thought that defense was going to be way better. And the Los Angeles Chargers defense has been very underwhelming. It's when all those moves were made to Devontae Adams and Russell Wilson, I'm letting you know right now, with this shirt on, I thought the division champ was going to be the Chargers. I thought the Chargers had enough, and I thought they bolstered the defense enough to dethrone the Chiefs from having that defense division title. And the defense hasn't held up. Yes, they've been banged up on offense. The offense is still off. The offense is still high powered and everything. Runs through Eckler and Mike Williams and Keenan Allen and everything and Gerald Everett. But that defense is very underwhelming. They can make some plays at home, but they're on the road in Denver. Denver looking to win with the new coach, end the year on a good note. I'm gonna play that narrative, and I think Russell Wilson's a solid DFS play this year. He is a solid play this year. And on top of that, I'll end it with Sam Darnold. When it comes to disappointing defenses, the way they played the last 2 years, they kind of started out that way, but they haven't finished out that way. Even though they're on a 4-game winning streak, I still think that's a defense you can attack. Sam Darnold has been playing sharp, so I think he's also another solid pick at 6,800. Yes, it's on the road. New Orleans can play big on. New Orleans can, get that crowd behind him and play big, but I think Sam Darnold is also a nice DFS play. We'll go to wideouts. Like I say, he doesn't have much to play for. Who knows if Justin Jefferson's going to play? 9,000, he's at top. They definitely got a lot to play. He's going to get ownership. I think Tyreek Hill is going to see a ton of ownership at 86. Like I said, Jamar Chase at 85. You got Stephon Diggs at 84, AJ Brown at 83. AJ Brown might catch 2 deep touchdowns, might have like a stat line. I'm telling you, AJ Brown is liable to have two to four catches for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm telling you, that game can get ugly fast, and those guys are gonna be chilling by halftime. Could be. We don't know all the players he's gonna sit yet, but like I said, uh, we have CeeDee Lamb. He's been playing great. He's had a great December, looking to continue with it in the new year. 8,200. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8,000. T. Higgins, 7,800. Devontae Smith. Uh, he he's played well. He played well with Minshew. Got to 7,700. I'm gonna downgrade him a bit. Nothing wrong with him. I like his talent. But with Jalen Hurts back, Jalen Hurts will scramble a bit. They might say take it easy on the scrambling, but Jalen Hurts is not just going to cut off his running. Jalen Hurts is going to take some fantasy points on his own. And let's be real, if you've been watching the whole season, yes, he throws to Goddard, but his number one target is A.J. Brown. That's why I'm just going to, I'll have a little bit of Devontae Smith, but I think I might still, I mean, they're in a playoff battle. So if I don't want Devontae Smith and I don't think he's Jalen Hurts' target, I could find 100 more to go to T. Higgins. That's just me. Just me. He's not a total fade, but I like him more Minshew. Just saying. Other key plays, you could drop down a little bit. I mean, that's a nice looking stack right there. That's kind of cute that FanDuel did that. They got these two guys right next to each other for 75 and 7,400. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. DJ Moore, 7,300 against New Orleans. Michael Pittman could be an interesting pick at 7,300, home against Houston. Jalen Waddle was rocking a Q-tag with his shoulder. But like I said, Miami's playing for something, so that's a nice affordable stack. With Miami slumping a little bit, that kind of helps you a little, kind of fit that stack. No Tua, of course. Bridgewater. I think Bridgewater's a bit. Was Bridgewater rocking Q? I didn't really talk to Teddy Bridgewater. I think I just glanced over him. I'm scrolling down. Jesus Christ, who the hell are you? Yeah, he's rock. I think he had like a laceration on his finger. And Teddy Bridgewater is 64. So if you do stack that, that is a very doable stack. 64, 77, and then the 8. What did I say? 85? Did I say 85? So yeah, that's a doable stack. It is a doable stack. What else do we have here? I'm just rambling off these names and reasons why to pick them. Garrett Wilson, definitely. I definitely like a jet stack at Miami this week. DJ Metcalf, 7,200. Brandon Ayuk. I like it because of the matchup, but how long do they play? Don't know. Does Debo play? San Francisco pretty much got everything locked up. I mean, they all playing for a little bit, but I don't think Debo plays. I think they save him for the playoffs. Tyler Lockett rocking a little Q-tag with a shin injury. Like I said, you got Christian Watson with a hip. Like I said, New Orleans wants to finish strong. New Orleans looking to finish strong, especially with their young players. A lot of these young guys are going to get some burn. So look for Chris Olave to get a lot of value against Carolina. I'll be definitely taking looks at him at 6,700. Jerry Jeudy against Los Angeles. He's really turned it on as of late, 6,600. Drake London's also looking like a good pick at home against a pass funnel. Now, yes, Tampa Bay defense has been playing well, but Drake London, after starting off quick, slowing down in the middle part of the season, is finishing his rookie campaign strong, 6,500. I mean, he hasn't really done much since like September, but he's always worth the pick. I think FanDuel just does a good job to make him not a free square and put him in the 5,000. Gabe Davis, 6,400. Yes, that's a risk, but it's a risk anybody's willing to take if you play DFS. And Lazard, like I said, he has the Lions matchup. He's at 64. Deontay Johnson at home against Cleveland. They're fighting for a playoff spot. Maybe some cheap picket stacks if you want. Brand, Brandon Cooks is pretty much the man. They're looking to finish the season off strong, 6,200. Glad he didn't blow up this week. I mean, when you dominate the target for 6,200, he's worth a look. He's worth a look. I always talk positively about Brandon Cooks. I know he wants to leave. He's still in the prime of his career. Wants to play for a better team. Houston's definitely on a rebuild. That's not where Brandon Cooks needs to be in this point of his career. But who knows? He tried to get traded. There was no trade offer, so we'll see. Tyler Boyd looking like a good option. Who knows what? Who knows? Like I said, the Giants have no wide receivers, so who knows what wide receivers play Sunday against Philly? And if we keep scrolling down, we have Van Jefferson, Jahan Dotson, 6,059 respectfully, and I guess you could George Pickens for 5,900, Michael Gallup for 58 if you want. One of my favorite 5,000 pieces, DJ Shark. I think it was 56 last week. He's only 100 more, so 57. Anything else? Yeah, Romeo Dobbs for 56. Corey Davis for 56 against Miami. Not really much I'm really looking at here at the bottom. Not at all. Not really. A lot of teams, but not really much that I'm going to be looking forward to. So I think we can skip on to tight end. And the tight end pool is a little more reasonable. Why? Because George Kittle, George Kittle. George Kittle is the highest tight end on this slate. But the reason why it looks more reasonable because you don't have no crazy gap. Because Mr. Man on the Kansas City Chiefs, he plays on the Saturday slate. So George Kittle, who knows how much he plays, top ranked tight end, 7,600. You got Hawkinson under him, 72. I haven't really mentioned Minnesota. Like I said, they can't really do much. Baltimore and Cincinnati is going to be a game, 7,100. Obviously, tight end QB eligible Taysom Hill. Q tag on the back, 7,000. Dalton Schultz, I like him at 6,500. That's going to be a good. He looks like a nice, not too high priced option to pick. Excuse me. Dallas Goddard, I just mentioned him a while ago. Nice price at 62. Jawan Johnson, one of the best red zone threats this season. He's once again home 57, but is rocking a Q tag with a quadriceps issue. Pat Frymouth 55, Gerald Everett 55, David Njoku 54 at Pittsburgh. Robert Tonyan might do something if you're looking for something low owned and very cheap, 53 at the end of the night. Hayden Hurst is finally healthy for Cincinnati, 5,300. But I will feel more, even though he does get targets, Hayden Hurst is definitely somebody I feel more comfortable with if one of those three wide receivers are out. That's the way I feel about Hayden Hurst. Even though it's weird for me to say because he still gets targets. But he started getting that consistent target boost when Jamar Chase wasn't there around that time of that injury. But he is a steady part of the offense. But, lottery ticket. For this week anyway. For this week. I like this pick. I like to talk. Last week, he did me justice, so I'm definitely looking at him again. Plus, he's going against one of the worst teams to cover tight ends. Tyler Conklin is now 5,100 after being, I think, 46 or 47 last week. Had a solid game. He definitely helped me cash and satellite tickets. He had 6 for 80, no touchdowns at 4,700. He definitely paid off his value. And guess what? The tight end for the Broncos that everybody's been liking, he's been playing well. Where is he? Where is he? I don't see him. Let me click on this Bronco game because what I want to do is talk about his backup because he actually scored a touchdown last week. I randomly had him in the lineup because he was cheap as hell. So I was like, why the hell not? So, oh wow, they don't even have. Oh wow, he's not even on the. He's not even on the player thing. Okay, Greg Dulcich is not even in the player pool. I mean, I'm here on tight ends for the pool, but Albert Albert O, 5,000 even. He's pretty much running most of the routes. He saw way more than Eric Sauber. Sauber is the backup, and he's rocking the knee issue. Yeah, we won't have anything, no issues there. That's definitely he's a tight end play that I definitely like. I definitely like that move. Oh, that's why. Because they put him all the way down to 4,000. Yeah, Greg Dose is on IR. Not playing end of the year. Might as well just throw him down there. Let's go to defense. But yeah, Albert O is definitely a good pick. I definitely like Albert O. Okay, so I mean, you really don't hear me recommend it, but like I said, if the Giants don't play the starters, I like Philly. Philly's a good pay up option at 5,000. San Francisco 49, Buffalo at 48. Dallas is a solid one at 47. But yeah, my favorite pay up option is definitely 5,000 Philadelphia going against the New York Giants backups. Jets will like to play spoiler 4,500. Now we're getting to the mid fours. Can't really say much about Tampa Bay at Atlanta yet. Like I said, and that's a lot of veterans, so they need that week off before they get into the playoffs. I got a feeling Tampa Bay won't play that much, but we shall see. Like I said, they have a good matchup. They have a good matchup at home. They're going against the rookie Stidham. So who knows? We'll see. Cincinnati's an option because Tyler Huntley's the quarterback there. I do not think they play Lamar. I've been right about that. He's not going to play this week. I say Lamar, let that knee heal up as much as it can. He'll be missed. If he misses this game, I think it'll be 4 weeks. He's been out. The report is he's doing better, but they can still see a significant limp when he's just regularly walking. So that knee is not ready yet. Give that knee more time. Playoff Lamar is more important than Week 18 Lamar. And yeah, I tell you, the Lions is a team that I respect, I like, but I think besides Philly, my favorite mid option would be mid price level option is Green Bay at 42. Green Bay at home. What else? Is there anything else that I like here? I do like Houston. I like Lovey Smith going into Indianapolis, causing some trouble, getting some interceptions and turnovers. Right there, 4,000. Now that I'm at 4,000, who is my favorite 39 and under defense? First person I see, or first team that I see, is a 3,900 Pittsburgh Steelers against a still struggling Deshaun Watson. Uh, if you want, I kind of like New Orleans at home. You could Denver at home, 3,600 against the Los Angeles Chargers, not that bad. And yeah, I don't like anything at the very bottom. So yeah, my favorite 39 and under, Pittsburgh at home. Pittsburgh at home against a struggle. Pittsburgh at home against a struggling Deshaun Watson. That's my favorite pay down option. If it's not that, which is right under 4,000, then I'm liking both the Saints and the Broncos defenses at home against teams that they could slow down and maybe get some turnovers. You get some turnovers off Darnold. You get some turnovers off a Justin Aber, Justin Herbert, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So guys, that is the Week 18 Sunday slate preview. Hope you liked the video. Hopefully I gave you a few nuggets here and there based on the news that I got so far. Uh, and leave a like, thumbs up, subscribe, and it's been fun. Learned quite a bit how to manage myself and scheduling and everything. Working working a job and trying to do this part time. And it's definitely a fun hobby. Like I said, doing this research gets me set for my slate. Uh, if anything, yes, I will continue to be doing these vids for the playoff slates, and I will be doing this straight through the Super Bowl. So yeah, we're gonna keep this rocking all the way through second weekend of February. So good luck, Week 18 Sunday. Once again, look in the playlist, look in the video on the side. You should be able to find the Saturday slate video for Grade A Fantasy. And yeah, it's been a fun first year. And hopefully this channel just grows and grows. It's gonna take some time, but I'm gonna keep up at it. So Hopefully you like that. Once again, pay attention to the news. I try to wait as long as I can to, get as much news as possible. And hey, look, the minute I was getting ready to, I was finishing up some notes. The NFL decided to, just totally wipe out that Bills and Bengals game. So who knows what other news we'll get? Who knows what the coaches will say tomorrow? Especially, those Friday practices are big. Sometimes it's also bigger news on Saturday. Fewer rule outs here and there, but Friday practices are big. So once again, like, subscribe. Thank you for your time. And this is Grade A Fantasy signing out. Good luck.